Much, yeah. Actually, that's exactly what it was. Front of my house and back of my house, cornfields or soybean field.
So I'm thinking to myself, like, where do you keep cars? Did you park the cars in the corn?
I don't think it would have, the little Honda Civic would have done too good in those conditions.
Episode 30 brings us Kyle 360, going from the cornfields to the courtrooms, and one hilarious lesson on boundaries.
Yes. We're talking about prostitutes. You don't work with prostitutes.
No, I haven't.
Strip club, sorry, a strip club.
I gotta hear about the strip club story.
They paid one of their exotic dancers as a 1099 independent contractor, whereas she said, I'm a W-2 employee. I wasn't paid overtime. I worked over 40 hours in a week. She brought her own tools to work. That's one of the factors in determining if she's an independent contractor.
What kind of tools does an exotic dancer bring to the strip club?
I don't know, the outfit.
And somehow, all that leads to one of the best lines I've ever heard about personal development on the Best Path Forward podcast.
Do you like saying no?
Sometimes you just gotta whip out that no.
Never have I ever heard it called whip out that no. Whenever someone tells you to do something, you don't want to do it, what should they do, Kyle?
Whip out that no.
Whip out that no.
Put it on the table if you have to.
I guess it's time to find out how whipping out that no can help you find your own best path forward. So let's dive in.
Welcome to this episode's Best Path Forward. Today, I'm joined by Kyle. Kyle, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me, Dan.
Thank you for being here. So what are you most excited about for this podcast experience?
It's my first one, so I'm looking forward to the whole experience.
The whole experience?
Yes.
So as far as Best Path Forward, this is kind of a milestone. This is episode number 30.
Wow.
Yeah. So do you feel like a lot of pressure being number 30?
No, I feel honored.
You feel honored?
I do.
Damn, that means a lot, man.
Yep.
All right, so Kyle, I kind of asked this general question. What's your story?
My story is, I guess it came from small farm town up in Marion County. Moved down here for undergrad, got my degree, went to law school, became an attorney, and now I'm here on the 30th podcast.
Okay, now you're on the 30th podcast. I am honored to be part of your life story. Yeah. That makes me very happy. So you say you grew up in Marion County?
Yes.
So I'm from Jacksonville, Florida. So I'm not from Ohio. I'm assuming Marion County is in Ohio.
Yeah, rural. It's about an hour north of here.
Okay, so what's there to do in Marion County?
A farm.
Farm?
Yeah, outdoors.
Just outdoors and farming?
Yeah, and then there's the city of Marion. It's much smaller than Columbus, so you would maybe go to a movie, go to BW3s.
How many stoplights did Marion County or Marion City have?
Marion City's got a few, but rural where I'm from, the village did not have any.
So you just did quotation marks with village.
Yeah.
Is this like M. Night Shyamalan village or?
I don't know about that. I never saw anything like that happen.
Did it happen?
I never saw anything like that.
That sounds like a very lawyerly answer to say. Pleading the fifth by not, like, I didn't personally see it happen.
Yeah, but I'm not who's to say?
I don't know. So you grew up and you just walked outside and it was just like farm and corn?
Pretty much, yeah. Actually, that's exactly what it was. Front of my house and back of my house, cornfields or soybean field.
So was there like a square kind of like opening for your house to be in, or are you just like living among the stalks?
No, there was a path. There was a path there. We weren't among the stalks. There was like a backyard with grass as well. And
wait, you had a backyard?
Yep. Did.
What about that crop space though? Didn't you need space for those crops?
I guess they were just letting us have a yard.
That's so. Who was they?
Just whoever. The village people. The farmers.
The farmers. Yeah. Were there multiple farmers responsible for your corn and soybeans?
I don't know. Maybe, you know what? Maybe it was whoever platted the land. That we have them to thank for the backyard. So maybe it wasn't the farmers, so the surveyor or whoever does that. So
I'm thinking to myself, like, where do you keep cars? Did you park the cars in the corn?
No, we had the garage, but the garage wasn't big enough for everyone's car. I had step siblings. And I have a brother, so we just had to park them in the driveway.
The driveway?
Yeah.
Why didn't you park them with the corn and the soybeans?
I don't think it would have. The little Honda Civic would have done too good in those conditions.
So, like, if you guys needed vegetables. Corn isn't a vegetable, it's a starch. If you guys needed starch, would you go out there and just get your own corn for dinner?
I never did that.
Why not?
I guess it never crossed my mind.
No one ever was like, hey, we need some corn. You didn't go out there and get your own corn?
It was never brought up to me.
This is so mysterious. Did you guys eat corn?
Some. Not a whole lot. Not as much as you would think. Pretty rarely.
So you had corn in front of you, but you didn't eat the corn?
Correct.
What do you do with soybeans?
I don't know what they really do with those. I think it has something to do with like gas, or there's a mixture, or an oil, a vegetable oil maybe. So there's something there with gas or oil or vegetable oil. There's something there.
I feel like you're fucking with me a little bit.
Well, isn't it ethanol? Isn't so soybeans going to ethanol? It's like a hybrid kind of like saving
I'm
them.
not a gas maker. I don't know.
Well, we're gonna have to study up on that, do a little research.
I'm super curious though. Like, what do you do with soybeans?
That I don't know. I think, like I said, I think they make them into vegetable oil, and I think it's an ethanol. They can make a blend that's a little bit better for the environment. But don't quote me on that. I think.
I mean, you're episode number 30, man. Everything you say is going to be the truth. I think so. That's how it works with anniversary and milestones.
I'm going to do my best.
Hey, it's all good. So, what happened to the corn and soybeans? So, like, did people come up and get them, or
You just drive the combine, and that's how you harvest them.
a what?
A combine?
What is that?
It's like a large, different shaped tractor that has a thing on it, and it kind of just cuts and harvests the corn and the soybeans.
And where did it go from there?
I think they drove it to a plant and dropped them off somewhere.
Did your family run this farm, or you just
I was not. No, I just witnessed it. My family did not run a farm at all. None of us were farmers, actually. We just lived amongst them.
was it? I like how there's like an us and a them to the farmers. It's very scary. I feel like Marion County will come and get us.
I hope not.
I hope not either. So it sounds like you spent a lot of time in the city of Marion.
A decent amount, yeah, here and there.
All right. So what is there to do? You said movie theaters?
Yeah, you can do like a movie, go to a B-dubs. There's not a whole lot. There's a bowling alley, a couple bowling alleys, but go to the gym.
The gym.
Yep.
All right. So you have a restaurant, B-dubs.
Yep.
And then you
A
have
few restaurants.
few
Not
restaurants.
just B-dubs.
I don't know. I've never been to the city of Marion with a few stoplights in it. So there's a B-dubs, a few restaurants, probably like a Wendy's.
Yes.
Do you eat Wendy's?
It's been a long time.
Yeah, I used to live down the street I actually live down the street from Wendy's now. I used to be obsessed with it, but I don't go too much anymore.
Well, what did you get from Wendy's?
Junior bacon cheeseburger, nuggets. I had 2 junior bacon cheeseburgers. I'm gonna go ahead and tell the truth because on episode 30, we're telling the truth. So it was a very fat kid order. 2 JBCs.
Yep.
French fry, small of course, because why not? And then nuggets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost identical to my order.
Was it?
I'll do the 2 JBCs. I'll do the spicy nuggets.
Oh,
And then chicken sandwich.
it depends how brave I was feeling that day. If I was feeling brave, I'll do the spicy nuggets. But most of the times I wasn't feeling brave enough to get the spicy nuggets.
Understood.
Understood?
Yeah, I think spice can get you.
Yeah, I can't do spice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to be a good day for anyone at that point.
Right.
Yeah, it's all good. But so you got out of Marion County
Correct.
and you decided to go to undergrad. Where'd you go to undergrad?
Ohio State.
Ohio State.
Yep.
The Ohio State University.
The Ohio State University.
So as someone that's not as ingrained into the culture of the Ohio State University, why do they call it the Ohio State University? Do you know that?
That was before my time.
Okay.
I don't know how. I don't know.
I bet someone sued for it.
Maybe they did.
Yeah, probably.
Well, I think they filed some trademarks on it in the past few years.
For the
Just the, yeah.
like the word the?
Correct. Well, pronounced the.
Wait, there's only one E in it. What's that come? Does it have it on there? It does not.
It does.
Probably because it would have cost more money.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a Christmas gift. So I guess my family got cheap. They didn't get the one that said the Ohio State on it to save some money.
Could have been.
Yeah, so what'd you do in undergrad?
I studied accounting.
Numbers guy.
Well, I found out that I wasn't.
Oh.
It wasn't my favorite thing to do.
Why not?
I don't know. I just don't think I was cut out for it.
Yeah, numbers scare me. Do you know like Excel spreadsheets you can get through without using the keyboard or the mouse?
I didn't even know that you could do that.
It's wild. My friend Curtis told me, he's like, yeah, if you're really good at Excel, you never have to touch the mouse.
Wow.
Like, how do you move the cursor without the mouse? I think he was messing with me, though.
You learn something new every day, but maybe he was.
Yeah, maybe he was that good. And so after deciding you didn't want to do accounting, you decided to go to law school.
I did.
So what was the decision process there?
So there was a Ohio State branch campus in Marion, and I went there for the first couple of years, and my uncle was an attorney up in Marion, and I worked for him for about a year. Liked working there, liked the law, so I thought, hey, accounting's not for me. Let's give law school a shot. So I applied and got in and stuck with it.
So what type of fast food did you eat during law school?
I think, you know what? I think during law school was kind of my decline on the fast food. That might have been when I was starting to get, more about fitness and health.
You're going to say jacked, weren't you?
I don't think I ever got too jacked.
Oh, come on. Don't kind of
In shape, maybe. Yeah.
So what kind of triggered that change?
I don't know. I in undergrad, I think I did the kind of the bulk cut cycle, and then I just didn't like, I guess, doing the bulk cycle really anymore, and just kind of decided to be more fit focused, I guess, and less like strength training or getting big.
So do you do a lot of cardio then?
I do now, yes. So I just kind of did lifting, body weight stuff for many years, and then I just recently, maybe since like January, started doing more cardio.
All right. What's your cardio of choice?
So I'm doing a program right now, and it's 3 days run, 3 days swim, and they're different variations. So one of each, run, swim, will be long, slow distance. The other one will be continuous high intensity. And then the third one would be interval.
Where did you learn how to swim?
Back in Marion.
Marion?
Yeah, I did.
So you guys have pools there too?
Yep, at the YMCA.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I try swimming, but I just keep sinking.
Do you?
Yeah.
It's fun. You should learn.
Sinking is not fun.
That part.
It's embarrassing because you see other people just like gliding through the water, and I just sink and try to start bouncing at the bottom, and apparently that's not allowed
Yeah.
because there's no like bottom of like a lake that can survive. I'll probably drown if I did that.
Yeah. That's dangerous.
That is very dangerous.
Gotta watch it.
And so during law school, a lot of people are kind of like dialed into like books and everything. It sounds like you're dialed in not only to books, but also into increasing your fitness level.
Yes. Always tried to at least maintain through law school. And there was ebbs and flows with it. Sometimes you had to dedicate more time to study and getting ready for exams or whatever's coming up next. But yeah, I tried to stick with it and at least, maintain.
So what was your favorite class in law school? There is a right answer here, by the way.
Oh, is there?
I think so.
I feel like I'm being judged hard already.
I'm not a judge. I'm just another lawyer.
Okay, fair enough.
I will judge you.
My favorite, well, I mean, as far as like the subject matter, or like, what about if I had like a favorite professor?
Oh, let's do both.
Okay, so my favorite professor was probably Professor Gillis. She taught torts. She was a very interesting person. And then subject matter, I don't know. I wasn't that good at it, but I liked the constitutional law.
Con law?
Yeah.
So 1 classes then. Tort as your professor and then con law?
Well,
You guys
con
had that?
law was 2.
Oh, 2? Well, I forgot when ours was.
Yeah.
Was ours 2? I don't remember. It's fine.
Yeah. I'm almost positive it was second year for me.
Hey, I'm going to take your word for it, man. You're guest number 30. Whatever you say, we'll go.
Yeah, and I'm trying to be as accurate as possible.
I mean, unless you're lying about the truth of Marion villages, something like that. I don't know. So why constitutional law?
I don't know. I just thought that there was a wide variety of different cases within that kind of study. It could be your first speech, had a bunch of different cases about that, kind of like interstate commerce, the regulation of Congress and that sort of thing. So it was just kind of a really good variety, I think, within that. And there was always interesting cases that illustrated the rule of law.
That is very true. You ever hear like the First Amendment cases and all that? And you're like, this is where all these amendments come from and all that stuff. So do you practice in con law today?
I do not. My main area of focus is employment law.
What's employment law?
So it's a variety of things. It could be discrimination, harassment, wage and hour violation, minimum wage, overtime. I do some non-compete, non-solicitation work. It could be, hey, you want me to draft your handbook. Could be, hey, you want me to advise you on how we handle disciplining an employee. So it could be like HR related, but that's mostly what I do.
So I hear solicitation, and I understand what it means, but a lot of people listening will think it's more nefarious than it is, unless it is that type of solicitation.
Right. Yes. Not that type.
Not that type. Yes. We're talking about prostitutes. You don't work with prostitutes.
Right.
Yes. He does not work with, that makes it sound like you don't work with prostitutes.
I do. No, I haven't.
Strip club. Sorry, a strip club.
Well, you worked with, no, wow. That's a sidetrack.
Sometimes you just need representation.
So there's like 2 paths we can take. I got to hear about the strip club story.
Yes. So they paid one of their exotic dancers as a 1099 employee, or 1099 independent contractor, whereas she said, I'm a W-2 employee. I wasn't paid overtime. I worked over 40 hours in a week.
The exotic dancer worked over 40 hours in a week?
Those were the allegations.
So what was the truth? And keep it as vague as possible, please. I don't mean the strip industry.
So a lot of civil litigation employment law cases, they just settle before you ever get the determination as to who's right, who's wrong. So I think we just settled that one.
So I guess how much, I guess this has to do with she or he, check my pros. Was it a female exotic dancer, lady person?
Yes.
So the ma'am, how much was she owed if she had worked the overtime?
I can't remember. This case has been some years ago. I can't remember. It wasn't a big number. I mean, maybe $10,000 is a lot, but that'd be a relatively small amount in the law.
In 1 week?
Well, not 1 week. So you can, on an overtime case, you can look back 2 years, or you can look back up to 3 years.
Oh, okay.
So it'd be over, a 2 to 3 year time frame that we'd be.
I thought she was going to make $10,000 in 1 week. I was like,
No.
I need to be an exotic dancer.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe we still do.
Wait, still what?
Be exotic dancer.
Am I getting $10,000 a week?
Well, I don't know.
How much do you think I could get as an exotic dancer?
I put you up there.
Hey, let's go. Cheers that. Cheers. Dude, I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, so we got to take a sip off of that one. So what do you think of this bourbon?
It's good.
Nice.
My first time. I forget what you said it was called.
It is a Pinhook, 8 years.
Yeah.
I'm glad you enjoy it, man.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. I'm going to charge you for this.
Okay.
I think that's your first glass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you good prices though.
All right. I appreciate that.
So if you learn constitutional law during law school,
Yeah.
and a lot of different laws. I also went through law school. Maybe you could take like a labor and employment class here or there, but you're not getting that in-depth experience. So how did you learn how to become like an employment law person?
Yeah, that's a good question. And what you said is really true. It's just a wide variety of normal classes that you take, and you can can't really focus in my opinion, in law school. So what I did is it's called a clerkship, like an internship at a firm between my second and my third year. Did on-campus interview. They offered me the internship, and then I worked there during that summer, and then throughout my 3L year, and then started as an attorney there after I passed the bar.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah. And back to the point is they practice employment law exclusively plaintiff side. So just through the internship and on the job experience is how I gained my experience.
You kind of pick it up as you go along.
Yes.
Someone at the firm will give you a case and you start learning about it through that way.
Yes.
So a lot of people, ideally that are listening to this podcast are people that are kind of like pushing themselves to become better in one area or another. What advice would you give someone that's either contemplating law school or kind of going through a tough time in law school?
So for the first one, I enjoy being an attorney. I like to do what I do. Do what we do. Every case that comes in the door is different. So there's a challenge in how you approach every single case every single day. So I guess I enjoy that challenge, and helping people, hopefully we can get a good result. And then as far as struggling through law school, I mean, it is a grind. It's 3 years before you get the degree. After that, as you know, study all summer, sit for the bar exam. I think it's only 2 days now. But yeah, I know back when we were taking it, at least
2 days.
It's 2.5 when I took it.
Me too.
Yeah. So
yeah, I was 2013. I took the bar exam and it was 2.5 days. That half day was honestly hell because it was like, we have to do this for another half day.
Yep.
I was annoyed.
So, but just get through it the best you can. I mean, try to do things that you like and find that balance, whether it's your health, fitness, or yoga, or writing, for leisure, or whatever it is you do. I mean, you need that escape and the balance, but just try to do that is what worked for me.
I dig that. And I think that's very helpful. It's like finding balance. You'll see people that are just like in the law library for all the day long. It's like, well, you have to enjoy life a little bit too. It's like you could be the smartest person in the class, but if you aren't balanced, you don't have like people skills, it's not going to really help you out in the long term in life. And so one of my favorite books is Simon Sinek's Start With Why. And why is all about finding like your motivation behind things. So as being a lawyer, have you started to discover what your own why is in being a lawyer?
Yes. And it's changed over time.
Okay.
So when I first started out, you want to laws inherent when you do litigation, when you're suing somebody, it's adversarial. There can be a winner, there can be a loser. Even when you settle, well, did I get the upper hand on the settlement or not? And am I getting the client the best result that they possibly could get? So there's just this all the perpetual competition, I guess. And I just always was thinking about or obsessed with, getting the best result. Did we win? And, eventually, so I was always focused on getting the best result for the client. But, at the end of the day, you're just not always going to win. So if that's your why, at some points you're always going to be kind of disappointed. So, I don't focus so much on the wins as much anymore, but rather is the advice that I'm providing the client the sound advice, whether they act on it or not. And then as I've gotten older and further in my career, one of the things that I like to do is mentor the younger attorneys like in our firm. And so that I would say is a little bit more my whys, just doing the best that I can within my control. At the end of the day, if I can live with that, I'm fine with that. And then also, just passing along, what I can to the younger attorneys in our firm.
I dig that. I think mentorship is huge. I think a lot of people are still focused on themselves. They never take time to kind of give back to the next generation. So what's some of your top advices that you give to a young lawyer that just graduated from law school, passed the bar, and now they get to practice?
Yeah, mostly just hands-on experience. I think when you go, so I was in, there's different firms that you can go to out of law school. You could go to the big prestigious firm, you could go to the mid-sized firm, you could go to the small firm, you could go to the sole practitioner firm. So it really kind of funnels down the hands-on experience you get, in my opinion, or actually be more of a reverse funnel. I guess the less people there are, the more hands-on experience you're going to get. So with the solo person or the small firm or even the mid-sized firm, you're just going to get more hands-on experience, meeting with clients, speaking with clients, preparation, taking depositions earlier in your career. Whereas, kind of the bigger firm model is you don't really get those opportunities until, 7, 8 years in. So as far as my mentorship, I just make sure that they get the best experience they can from our mid-sized firm, which is hands-on experience. So yes, sit in on the client meeting with me, sit on the phone call with me, do the intake call with me. This is how we're going to talk about things. And so they're seeing and getting, real world applicable experience.
I dig that. I started out from law school at one of those big firms. And for the, 3 or 4 months that I was there, they fired me. Like in 4 months, it was terrible. But I was like, I didn't get a lot of hands-on experience. And then after I got more experience into my legal career and everything, I started getting that hands-on experience. And that's when you really start to feel like a lawyer. You really start to develop those skills. So it's awesome that you're providing people that experience.
Yeah. What was the big firm that you're at?
Oh, Squire Sanders, which is I don't fucking care what they're going to do. Squire Sanders, Squire Patent Bogs, whatever they're called now. Yeah. I passed the bar in October, and in January, they're like, you got to go. I was like, that's abrupt. Still don't really know to this day why, but it's probably the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Yeah.
Like, just like what type of personality I have and everything. It was the best thing that could have happened to me.
And where'd you go after that?
So then it was kind of a scramble because like you just graduated from law school, just passed your bar exam. It was like, why are you leaving this big firm?
Right.
So from there, I went to Chase Bank, and not even a lawyer role. I was a anti-money laundering analyst. And so I was there for a year, and I was like, I want to get back into the legal world. And so then from the legal world, I started working as an attorney for a government employees insurance company.
Okay.
Do you know what that is?
No.
Geico.
Oh, okay.
I know, it's like a trivia question. So if you're ever on trivia, like, what's government employees insurance company? It's Geico.
Interesting.
And so that's where I cut my litigation teeth and everything. And I really started to learn how to be a lawyer. And it was the best growing environment ever. It was like a small practice. We're a captive counsel, but there was 3 lawyers. And so we had a lot of hands-on experience. Like, hey,
So you were litigating.
Litigating.
Okay. And that's unusual for kind of the in-house role.
Yeah.
So
it was like a captive office. We handled all their cases in like a certain areas of Ohio. So I've been to like a lot of cool areas in Ohio, some that have more stoplights than others. And so it's been a lot of fun kind of going through that journey, but it took me getting fired from that job for that to happen. Yep. And I know myself, if I would have just stayed at that job, I would have been miserable to this day. It just wasn't for me, but I wouldn't have had the courage to move on. So like sometimes life kind of forces you out of positions that you wouldn't take yourself. And so I was very, very lucky that it happened. Terrible at the time, mind you. Right. It sucked, but I'm glad that it happened.
Yep. That's cool. I didn't know that about you.
I'm sorry. Do you want to toast my firing?
That'd be up to you, but yes, I will.
I mean, so why not? And kind of like the whole life experience, like I think a lot of things happen to people. Like I got fired and obviously that wasn't fun at all. But it's like, what do you do with that traumatic experience? I could have sat there and just been like, oh, I don't want to do anything. But my friends were there for me. I had a very good support network. One of my best friends today, Noah, he found out that it happened, and him and his wife, Stacey, they had me over. They had a little French bulldog at the time named Jack. And Jack was like, this kid's depressed. Let me just go hang out with him. He was just come and lay on me. And they literally just had me on their house, on their couch in Clintonville as my brain was just kind of processing. They gave me the space I need to kind of process and figure out the next steps. And this is like really comforting to have that. But I think when people go through traumatic experiences, they have the tendency to like want to shell in. Because like at those times, you have to reach out to other people. And I think that experience taught me a whole lot about myself.
For sure. I agree. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. It sounds like you've never been fired.
No.
You don't have to answer that. That was
no, not in maybe like an older job where I like didn't show up or something, like in like a high school.
In Marion County?
Yeah.
You did that to your home village, town / city?
I'm not confirming or denying that. So I don't know. It was a mutual walk away.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, but no, I think we've all had, things that happen in our life, but I do agree with the notion that, it's good to keep getting out there. Like if you show up, it can be tougher.
It will be worse.
Yeah.
Because no one's there for you. You won't let people be there for you. I think people want to be there for you, but it's the person's responsibility to give them an opportunity to be there for them. So it's like, if I know someone is struggling, like I can only like force advice and help and open myself up so much. If they don't reach back out, like it's not going to help anyone.
Right. I agree.
Yeah. Enough about my fucking firing story. Why'd you bring that up? That's so messed up, man. So Kyle, like, what drives you?
I don't know if I have necessarily like a thing that I wake up and drives me every day. I mean, I guess maybe I have some discipline, or I just want to, I guess, it's not an extreme feeling, but maybe I do want to wake up and try to be better or get things done every day. I mean, I would say I do have that. But I don't know if that's like a specific thing. I guess maybe that's just something that I just want to do.
I disagree. I'm going to use a big word. Probably going to misuse it because of this bourbon. Vehemently. Yeah, that one. What is it?
Vehemently.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
So you say, I disagree vehemently with you.
Yeah.
You run 3 times a week and you swim 3 times a week. That's 6 days a week.
Yeah.
If someone doesn't have a drive or a motivating factor, I don't know why they do that. That's odd.
That could be true. But I have found that I just enjoy doing that. Kind of back to what we talked about earlier, like I'm not really interested in like doing a big bulk or getting super strong, doing a powerlifting competition. Really more so now, I just like to be, fit. And like I said, in the past year, I started doing cardio, came to find that I like that quite a bit. So, I just have enjoyed it. And it is a little bit of a challenge, but challenging yourself, I think, can be rewarding and make you feel good.
I used to be 272 pounds. I used to be
Wow.
Yeah, I probably went fitness chair. It was not like you're jacked. It was not jacked. It was obesity at the time. But I remember I first started getting into running, and controlling the breath was the hard part, and like just getting the miles. So how did you get adjusted to like the increasing mileage that I assume your program has you on?
Yes, it's just, you just increase it very small increments every week. So I just add a quarter mile once a week.
A quarter mile is a lot.
Yeah, it can be. I mean, but it does help you build up that stamina. So, and I mentally think that it's not a lot. So when I only have to add that much in my mind, I think that, well, no, it's only a quarter mile.
You just did.
It'll only take me like 2 minutes extra to run that.
That's a mindset shift.
Yeah.
Because you're doing it in small increments. It's not a lot. Like as a total, it might be a lot, but you're used to it. This is like another quarter mile.
Yep.
So what's your mileage now?
I just finished 7 3/4, so Monday I'll do 8.
8 miles at once?
Yes.
I did 4 and I was proud of myself.
That's good.
It's not 8. It's like half.
Yeah, but that's still a lot.
I appreciate your kindness. That makes me very happy. All right, Kyle, thank you for kind of telling us a little bit about yourself. I appreciate it a lot. But you had 2 pieces of homework in preparing for this podcast because I give you homework.
That is true.
And one of those pieces of homework was to pick a certain date.
Yes.
And I believe you submitted 4 dates, and we kind of landed on one.
You landed on one.
I did land on one. I did.
Yeah.
Well, mind you, okay. One, it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Not like the date itself, which makes sense in a second. It's really good, like the entry itself, like life lessons and everything,
Right.
especially considering the date. And then like another one was already taken, and the third one just didn't fit. And the fourth one, I didn't have one because it was New Year's Day, and I didn't do one that day. Yeah.
Well, I figured that you would have done one New Year's Day resolution. Everybody's working harder, So,
Okay, I admit sometimes I'm a bum. Thank you. Announcing it to the world. It's like, I thought you would be the type to do that. I appreciate that. I did not on that day, so I apologize. But what date did I end up picking for you?
September 11th.
9/11.
Yes.
2025.
Correct.
All right. So obviously there's a lot of historical significance for 9/11 2025. So why did you pick that date?
That is my birth date.
Your birthday
Yes.
is on 9/11.
Correct.
Oh. Okay. That is. So this bourbon's really good. Pinhook.
It is good. Well, what I tell people, Dan, is it's a shining moment in an otherwise dark day.
A shiny moment.
Yeah, 'cause I was born.
Were you born before or after 9/11 2020?
I was born before.
So that will make more sense if You were born after 9/11. Yeah, that's fair. We probably need to drink for this one.
Yeah, we do. Definitely.
So you were alive during 9/11.
Correct.
And 9/11 meaning September 11, 2001.
Correct.
How old were you?
I turned 10 that day.
Oh, you turned 10.
Yeah.
New decade, excited.
Right.
That is-
So I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I assume you had a birthday party planned because you were 10 years old.
Yeah. And they canceled it and I threw a fit.
You threw a fit?
I was not happy.
You were 10.
Correct.
They canceled it because...
They didn't feel it was right to celebrate celebrate on that day.
So that's actually pretty heavy, like to kind of grow up with and kind of have that. So how did you kind of process that? Did your parents talk to you? I don't know. You have parents, right?
I do have parents.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I mean, you could have just grown up and sprouted out of a cornfield.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was possible in Marion Village / county, town, city.
So what I think we did was we just had the party the next day. And then, I mean, at the end of the day, there's nothing. It's just coincidence. There's nothing I can do about that. And it just happened to be. So I don't know. It never really bothered me. But I always find it amusing when people react to it.
You know how people are going to react to it. So my question is,
You get a little bit of a different mix. Some people are like, "Oh my God, that sucks." I'm like, "Well, why?" Like, I don't really like. I mean, yeah, it's what happened that day. Of course, sucks. But I mean, my birthday. I don't think my birthday sucks.
it's a shining moment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Did a lot of people go to your party the next day?
Well, I was 10. I don't think I had I think it was like during the school week. So I think it was just family. So all the family did come.
Did you get presents?
I'm sure.
Because I was thinking if I was a last minute shopper, I probably wouldn't go shopping on 9/11.
You're saying if you were my parent, you wouldn't have got me a gift?
If I was a last minute shopper, it would have been tough. Did they have Amazon back then?
No.
Not that same day delivery Amazon.
You had to get out there and go to the store and pick it up.
And see all those sad people,
Yeah.
all because of your birthday.
Well, I mean, not because of my birthday, because of other actions. that
Because of
people took.
other actions. You're a shining moment.
Well, yeah, that's what I say.
Our birthday's a big deal to you?
No, not really.
All right.
I mean, I'm a simple guy, just hang out with a couple friends, do something, hang out with my family, see my family, do a dinner or something like that. I don't really get too extravagant.
All right. So pop quiz. And the answer can't be 2001. What's been your favorite birthday?
Oh, man. I don't know. I don't know if I have a favorite birthday, to be honest with you. That's kind of all been similar things, though, of what I just described, seeing friends and family. So it's kind of all been similar.
Well, like a favorite birthday gift you ever gotten?
Man, you're putting me on the spot.
It's my job, man. You're still number 30, high expectations. Come on.
That is true. I don't know. I can't think of one right now. I can't think of a favorite birthday gift I got.
Nothing.
No, I don't. I mean, if I got like an Xbox, and I'm trying to remember if I got an Xbox back in the day, or
Xbox?
yeah, I like the Xbox. Well, Xbox was the first console that you could game on the internet. Like the PlayStation didn't have that. It was Xbox Live.
I feel like this is a cruel trick that the universe plays on me. Everyone that's come on this podcast has been either PC or Xbox. Mm-hmm. Like, there's a correct answer here. Do you have an Xbox currently?
No, I don't.
Thank God. You don't have any gaming systems.
I don't.
All right. If you were to get one, what would you get?
I don't know. I'd have to do a little research because I'm behind the times.
You're going to say Xbox. You don't want to say it.
I mean, I'd be leaning towards that.
Yeah, you're leaning away from me because you're scared, and you should be. That's messed up. Xbox sucks. Did you play Call of Duty or something? Or Halo?
Halo. Big Halo guy.
I honestly have to put together a super clip of how many people, I have Xbox.
Yeah.
With Halo.
You should. Halo was amazing. Did you play Halo?
No, I didn't have an Xbox. Well, I had an Xbox. I did play Halo. It was all right.
What would you were obviously a PS guy.
Yeah, PlayStation guy.
So what did you play?
Like solo player games because I didn't have any friends. It's all good though.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm glad you're like you're gonna laugh at me right now.
No.
I had friends, I think. Are you laughing? That's so fucked, man.
I'm not.
Yeah. My favorite birthday was like people just showed up to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes my family would forget though. I was the youngest though, so it's all right.
Really?
No, of course not. That's terrible.
I was gonna say.
Wouldn't that be depressing?
It would have been.
Yeah,
But I thought maybe for a second you were like one of 12 kids and they actually did just forget it.
12 kids.
I don't know.
This isn't Home Alone. What are we doing
It
here?
could have been. I don't, yeah.
No, I'm the youngest though. Where are you in the pecking order?
I'm the oldest. It's just me and my brother. But we had step siblings.
Okay, you're still the oldest of all the step siblings?
No, my brother was youngest than me, and then there was 3 step siblings that were all older than us.
Were they nice to you?
Yeah.
All right, but how much older were they?
10 years, 4 years, and 3 years, I think, roughly.
All right, roughly.
Right.
Are they all in Columbus or are they still like in Marion County?
We don't really keep in touch anymore, so
I'm sorry.
yeah, no, it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If they
it's
send
one of
you-
those things.
If they send you an Xbox, no, you should not like them.
Maybe.
No, not maybe. Xbox is trash.
Yeah.
It's a troll gift.
Yeah. You think so?
I think so.
I'd be getting trolled if they sent that to me.
Yeah. They're like, we heard that podcast. Here you go. That's how it's going to play out.
Hey, I mean, if I got an Xbox out of it,
You would throw it in the trash. That's the only responsible thing to do with it.
All right.
You can give it to one of your clients.
Maybe.
I think so.
All right.
All right. You've entertained me long enough. I appreciate it.
Yep.
So obviously this corresponds to a bike brain.
Oh, yes. Back to the bike brain.
The bike brain.
We went down the 9/11 thing, didn't we? It took us all the way to Xbox.
The 9/11 thing. Oh my God, you're gonna get me in trouble. That'll be fun. So, what I'll have you do is I'll have you read this to yourself as I kind of explain what bike brains are to people who might not have heard of them. Is that all right with you?
Yes.
So here you go.
Thank you.
So bike brains are a tool that I use to help process the world around me. I try to do them 5 to 6 days a week, and sometimes I miss days like New Year's because apparently I'm very lazy. Thank you, Kyle. They're generally broken down into one of 3 major categories. Those categories are mind, body, and spirit. The first is mind. Mind is about having different mental rooms in your life where you can allocate that energy to really further develop your personal development goals. Be it the law school room, the running room, the swimming room. We all have different rooms in our lives where we allocate mental energy toward. The next is body. Body is about taking a 360 holistic approach to your body. It's more than just calories in through nutrition or calories out through exercise. It's also about your environment, your stress levels, the amount of sleep you get. They all play an important impact and factor for your body. And the last is spirit. And spirit is about diving in and reaching out. Diving in to figure out your own code of conduct, that is your personal development as far as how you want to operate in the world around you. And then reaching out is about reaching out to other people, checking in on them to make sure they're doing all right, as we can't do this thing called life alone. So Kyle, did you have a chance to read that?
I did.
Nice. What'd you think of it?
I liked it.
Nice. Now, this is going to be new, and I didn't plan this at all. It's kind of funny. This is episode 30. I've always been the one to read them. Do you want to give it a shot?
Do you want me to?
Dude, that'd be awesome.
All right. I will read this is the Bike Brain from September 11th, 2025. Title, Value Your Remaining Time. Life is short, and for some, a lot shorter than it should be. No matter your careful planning, you never know when your time will be over. The concept of Memento Mori, Latin for remember that you will die, shouldn't be a fear concept. Allocating mental energy to it wastes that energy, as in most cases, you can't control your death. What it should do, however, is ensure that the final acronym for George T. Doran's SMART, S-M-A-R-T acronym, the R, should be taken seriously. That R stands for relevant, which means that your personal goal plan should take into account your broader aims and values. This requires you to do a full spirit assessment, diving into yourself to determine what about your code you are looking to adjust. While it might be the last one discussed, your personal development launch path should start with relevance. One way to determine relevancy is to answer one question. If I achieve the goal I plan on hitting, will it make me more the person I want to be? If the answer is no, then that launch will expend precious mental energy as well as wreak emotional havoc on your body just for you to be no closer to the person you want to be. We've developed a compass you can trust for a reason. Use it accordingly. Life is too short to do otherwise.
Bro, you just crushed that.
Did I?
Are you kidding?
Think?
I always mess up somewhere. Yeah. You just fucking crush it. It's kind of can I just hire you to do that every time?
Maybe.
Voiceover style?
It's the 30th episode.
It's the 30th.
I can't.
That was great. We're toasting that.
All right, man.
That was fucking fantastic, Kyle. Seriously.
Good.
Well done.
Thanks.
But there's a caveat with reading it.
Yeah.
If you read it, you have to talk about it first.
Yeah.
So what does that bike brain mean to you?
So Memento Mori, remind me what it means in Latin again.
Remember that you will die.
Oh, okay, got it. So it's kind of almost like a seize the day kind of mantra, you know. You're going to die, so live the life that you want to live, you know, do what you want during the day while we're here and just, you know, kind of make the most of life while we're here.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. And so you start thinking like it's a Latin term. I'm a big Stoic person, like Stoicism.
Yes.
And so like Socrates, Marcus Aurelius and everything.
Yes.
And Epictetus and everything. I think that's how you say it. You're a Stoic guy?
I do read some of them.
You fuck with Stoicism?
Yes, I do.
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. So
they have a good Instagram page, The Daily Stoic.
I have the book.
I have the book as well.
Jeez Louise, you keep up on it?
I used to read them every day. I made it through, I think, once, and then I just kind of look at the Instagram posts, you know, from time to time when they come up on the feed and just kind of think about the things.
What's Instagram? I'm kidding. No, I'm messing with you. No, but the Daily Stoic, so you think about these Stoics and everything, like these rulers, these deep thinkers, philosophers and everything. Everyone thinks about death like in a negative thing, right? And something tragic 9/11 is to remind us like, hey, a lot of people died during that day. And you think about like the service people, the firefighters that died trying to rescue people. It's like they died, unfortunately, but they were living their purpose. And so it's like we start with why. Like, what is our purpose here? And it's like we have these personal development goals, and if those personal development goals aren't really honed in on our why, it's like, why are we doing it? It's like you hear people about climbing the corporate ladder and everything. Like you're climbing the corporate ladder, to get to the top and realize that you don't want to be there. It's not an environment that you want to be in and everything. And so I think Memento Mori is a good reminder for us, like, hey, remember that you're going to die. Why hold off doing the things that you really want to do till tomorrow?
Right.
And the beginning of that bike brain said that a lot of people's lives are cut short. How old are you?
34.
34. I'm just turned 40. And I think to myself, a lot of people that make it to their 30s, a lot of people don't make it to their 20s. A lot of people don't even make it to 6 years old.
Right.
You know? And it's like, why am I just going to waste time? Tomorrow's never guaranteed.
Right.
So what am I holding back on? Like, what am I fearing to start to do? Because like, I don't have a limited time. Everyone assumes tomorrow's going to be here. And the truth is, like, unless like the world explodes, even if the world explodes, tomorrow's going to be here. We just won't be here for it. Whether we're here or not, tomorrow's still going to be here. For Marcus Aurelius, tomorrow still came, and one day he just was not part of it. And so it's like, why are we going to sit back and just hold on to fear of doing something when we just really push forward and do the things that we want to do?
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
And I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, I mean, I don't do it all the time, but I do try to think about those things. Like if there is an opportunity where maybe I can do something that, seizes the day or just something that I do try to take it as much as I can,
Yeah. And you mentioned the SMART acronym in there. And so that bike brain was the end of a long series. And it's George Duran's SMART model. And it's like how you set goals. And there's 5 of them: specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and then time bound. And so like it has to be specific. You set a goal, it's like, or what do I need to do like to actually get a specific goal? Measurable, like what are the factors for success? Is it like making 5 sale calls or 10 sale calls? Like measure out what that goal is. Attainable is like, do I actually have the skills to do that? Right? Like if you need accounting skills to do something, you don't have those skills at that point, so maybe that's not really a smart goal for you to hit. And then the last one is T, and I'm skipping R for a reason. The last one is T, time bound. Like how much time do you have? If you don't have like an outer constraint in your goal, if you give yourself like, whenever I get it done, guess what? You're never going to get started with it. But R, I think, is the one you always have to start with, relevant. And it kind of goes back to my favorite book, one of my favorite books. I can't say favorite book, but one of my favorite books, Simon Sinek's Start With Why. It's like, why am I doing this? Like, why is it relevant to me? Like if someone's like, hey, Kyle, you should bench 350. That should be your SMART goal. Relevance is pretty low for you because one, it's not the person you want to be. The same thing for me. It was like, oh, Dan, you should go out and run like an ultra race. I'm like, is that really relevant for me? Like I'm doing 4 miles. Let me just jack it up to 52.
Right.
It's like, it's not really relevant for me for what I want to do.
Right.
And I think a lot of us get caught up in other people's expectations. And Kyle, I'm the biggest culprit of that. Like trying to be a people person and people pleaser. It's like, let me just live for myself a little bit.
Yep. Yeah. Saying no can go a lot further than saying yes sometimes.
Do you like saying no?
When it makes sense.
I like saying it more often than not.
If stuff isn't relevant, if I'm, sometimes you just got to whip out that no.
Dang, whip out the no. Never have I ever heard it called whip out that no.
Yeah.
Like, hey, do you want to do this? Is whip out that no.
Right. Yeah. Maybe that's a new thing that
It is.
just was born on this podcast.
Episode 30, whip out that no.
Right.
I dig that.
Lay it down.
That. You hear that? Whenever someone tells you to do something, you don't want to do it, what should they do, Kyle?
Whip out that no.
Whip out that no.
Put it on the table if you have to.
You just gave them eyes as you said that. Whip out that no. Lay it on the table. Be a nice firm no. That's good stuff. My God. So how do you deal with the disappointment that people have when you tell them no?
I mean, yeah, there's a little bit of uncomfortableness, I guess, but at the end of the day, we got to do, I think, what's best for ourselves. So, nobody likes to disappoint others.
No.
I think that's always an uncomfortable thing. But, if it's something I really, we're all guilty of, doing something that we probably don't want to do. But, you just got to say, this isn't really for me, so I'm going to pass.
I started saying no more and more. Probably starting like in 2021 when I really start to figure out the person I want to be, start living the whole Memento Mori. It's like, if I die tomorrow, am I happy with who I am and where I am today? And the answer as recent as 2021 was a resounding no. But I realized that the more I said no, the more my friends and good friends revealed themselves to me because they didn't take it personally. Unless it was something tragic. It's like, hey, do you want to come to my birthday party? Like, no, it's on 9/11. I got to go to the memorial. But nothing like that. But they start to understand you're on a certain path. And I think your friends that are your true friends, and it takes time to find true friends. Like my friend Noah, he told me like when he first met me, I took a shotgun approach to friendships. You know what a shotgun is, right?
Yep, I know the shotgun approach.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Shoot a lot and then a wide spread.
Widespread,
Yep.
and they don't penetrate deeply.
Right.
And so that's problematic because you're not making deep connections with people. You're just kind of like scattering yourself thin. So you're not really memorable, things like that. But like once I started taking a rightful approach to friendships, like they understood like, oh, he's on a different path. And that's okay. I like this person as damn best for whatever reason. And they were part of that journey. So I think saying no really kind of helped me find out who my true friends were.
Sure. Let me ask you this. What things have you found yourself saying no to? Like what kind of things have you been saying no to?
Going out on a Friday night or any night during the week.
Yeah.
Like if it's a happy hour.
So no, you won't do a Friday night, even though you have Saturday is a day off for you?
We see each other in the gym on Saturday.
True.
And what you don't see is that I'm usually up at like 6 or 7 and I do my cardio before I go to the gym.
Got it.
And so I'm like, I understand, like it's become a non-negotiable.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to do cardio before I go to the gym. Right. Non-negotiable. No matter what time I go to bed, I'm going to get up to do the cardio before going to the gym. It's just ingrained in my code and ingrained in who I am.
Yep.
So that means if I spend all night just partying and drinking, if I see 2 or 3 o'clock a.m., I'm still going to get up, but I will not be the bustling shine of energy that you normally see in the morning.
Right.
I will be punching people.
Right.
And I don't want to do that again.
Yep.
I already got kicked out once from the gym for that. I don't want another one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so like, find myself saying no to things like that or to like social obligations because as a people person, I'm like, I gotta say yes to this. I have to be involved. But I'm like, that couch looks really comfortable.
Yep.
And I can get work that I want to get done. I have like these SMART goals in mind. I'm like, we don't have unlimited time. I have a full-time job and I have to do other things on top of that, like this podcast. Like it's not super like, it's very time consuming. So it's like, how do you allocate that time? And sometimes you just have to say no to things. But it does make it, when I say yes to other things, like it's been a lot easier. So Kyle, how about you? What have you had to say no to? Or you do not say no to things?
I would actually say it's been more in line with what you're talking about. No, nothing during the week. I have a full-time job too. I try to get up at like 5:30 most days. So there's no way I can get a night out, usually on a Thursday. Or if I do, then like you said, I'm just not really ready to attack the day or be in the mode to perform that day.
Seize the day.
Exactly. So that, and I mean, kind of with, I would say friends a little bit more.
Okay.
Just people. I think that sometimes you come across people in life and maybe you don't click, and if that is just the case, then we don't have to force it or like continue to do something. Or if our paths end up splitting and somebody goes some way and I want to go the other, then there's no sense in really holding on to that as much as you would when you're close friends. You can obviously still check in on people, but I'd say like more stuff like that. And I like what your analogy said with the shotgun approach to friendships. I think that's really a good thing to hone in on. Just one deep a few deep connections, is more than enough.
It's so much more satisfying too. Because like, not that I didn't care about people during the shotgun approach. It was just like so many, like you couldn't make a significant impact. And one of my big mottos, Kyle, I say it so much, I know myself with it, but I still say it. It's like, save the day. So like, if I know like one of my like really close friends is like going through something, it's like, what can I do to like step up and be there for them? And I hang out with people that like sometimes can be a little like emotionally like shielded, but then when they let people in, they let you in.
Mm-hmm. Like
they say that like the definition of love. I'm not sure why I heard this. I'm not sure who they is. Maybe it's the same day that did your whole village's corns thing. But they said the definition of love is giving someone the power to destroy you and trusting that they won't use it. That is fucking deep. It hits hard.
That is.
Because like you tell people being vulnerable means like there are no secrets. Like you just open up to people. And once you do that, it's like, oh, you're kind of emotionally raw. And they could stomp on your heart. They can do whatever they want with it, but you're trusting them to have your back with it. And that is tough. It took me a long time to get to that point, to like be open with people.
Yeah.
Even though my friends get mad at me, they're like, you never asked for help. I'm like, if you want to come wash my dishes, come over.
Well, and I think too, along the lines of that is for that kind of thing. I mean, because of what you said was kind of so powerful, but so true, is you got to kind of have a good like vetting process in place too. Because if you're going to place that trust into somebody, they got to be the right person to do so.
How do you go about vetting people though?
I don't know. Gut, I guess. I feel like it's a lot of gut.
Yeah.
I feel like most of the times in my life where I said, I got a gut feeling about it, but I'm going to override it and proceed. It's always been, that didn't work out. So it almost always, it seems like.
You know, you can keep bringing up the bike brain that you did an expert job at reading. And so part of that was like the whole idea of having like this compass. And like a compass is a compass. Like humans having like their whole moral compass. It's awesome. It would be awesome if we had like an actual compass, like gravitational pull could point us in the right direction. But like if you put work into your compass, like you do like Stoic Philosophy things, you follow the Instagram page of the Daily Stoic. Ryan Holiday's your best friend, you know, he sends you messages on Instagram. Has he sent you one?
No.
Have you messaged him?
Is he the Daily Stoic guy?
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
I haven't either. We should message him, but like, hey, your book rocks.
Yeah.
Oh, but like you do all this work to help refine and like really adjust your moral compass. And so like that whole gut feeling is not the same gut that you had like going through law school or when you were turning 10 years old on 9/11 circa 20 or 2001. Like it's not the same. Like you've done work for yourself. It's the same moral compass that kind of makes you want to get up and do 3 days of running and then 3 days of swimming too. And so I think like, I don't think it's bad to trust a gut instinct too. And I find myself too, it's like when you kind of override that feeling, especially after you've done a lot of personal development work, the results are usually not ideal. It might not be catastrophic. It's just never up to what you think it should be.
Right. Yeah. And one of the big things that I think I've tried to focus on is, I mean, it's kind of like a Memento Mori thing, but it's like live the life that I want to every day. So what that means for me, I guess, is I have a job that's flexible. So I go to the gym, get up early, get into the work usually at 7. I try to leave like 2:33, do my cardio, and I got the rest of the evening kind of to do what I want, and just kind of have that flexibility. And so, back to what we were talking about, like the vetting and the compass and that sort of thing. I mean, if something kind of feels like it's not right for you, you have the experience to know that. And if you're constantly truly working towards like living the life that you want to live, then, even kind of the smallest like red flag, so to speak, is going to stand out and might make you just think better of it.
Yeah. It's like, let's not even explore if that is a red flag. Let's just avoid it.
Yeah.
It's tough.
It is tough.
It is very tough, especially if someone like seems nice. It's like, there's something in the gut that doesn't feel right.
Yep.
And it's tough. But at the same time, like time is the one resource we can't get back. Peace of mind, if it gets thrown out of whack, ideally you can readjust it, get it back into balance. But time, wasted.
Right.
Just gone.
Right.
And it's like, how do I want to spend my time?
Right.
We all have what? 86,500 seconds in one day. You think about it like that. It's like a lot of that's going to be spent sleeping, ideally. Like 4 to 5 hours of sleep.
Right.
No, not right. You're supposed to get more sleep than that.
Well, I get more sleep than that, but I was saying right if that was your sleep schedule.
You should judge me harshly. How much sleep do you get?
So if the alarm goes off I'll either set the alarm at 5 or 5:15. And then, so I usually try to be in bed by like Grand Pole or 9:15, 9:30. That doesn't always happen.
8 hours?
Well, I'm in bed. I usually I don't fall asleep immediately.
Okay.
But that's what I try to do. A lot of times it ends up being like 10, 15.
Did you say grandpa alert?
Yeah, that's
Why
people,
grandpa
people
alert?
told me. I mean, you go to bed at 9:15.
Yeah, those people suck. You should cut them out of your life. I mean, come on. You
Right. Yeah. Maybe that is the
Kyle's
red flag.
I've already cut them out of my life. They're going to hear this and be like, oh, is that why Kel hasn't messaged us back? Yes, that's the reason.
Right.
Stop calling people grandpas. Not nice.
Right.
Yeah. I used to get bad sleep.
Did you?
And people are like, you'll get Alzheimer's and die. I'm like, I don't think you could die from Alzheimer's, but it wouldn't be a great quality of life. But then again, I'm not a doctor, so you maybe could. But it's like, I used to get like probably 4 or 5 hours. I know. I'm working on it.
What are you getting now?
At least 6.5.
Okay.
I'm old though, so I hear old people need less sleep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got it.
Proper answer was no, Dan, you're not.
Well, do you feel like 6.5 is enough for you?
Yeah.
Okay, then. I mean, if you kind of get what you think's enough for you, then who's to really say?
Science, I think. We'll say that anymore.
Well, you train every day. So I guess my message to you would be, well, if you get 6.5 hours of sleep, you know what that performance looks like in, your cardio and your gym. And then what if you get 7.5? I mean, have you noticed I'm
going to try 7.
All right. Well, why don't you try it and then see if there's a difference?
I'm going to report back. When you come back to the podcast, I'm going to let you know the findings. How many do I have to do it more than once? Probably.
I don't know. We got to think about how we would even set up that experiment. What would it be, like a week of 6.5 and then a week of 7? I think that would,
a whole week?
I think that would kind of have to be at least a good sample size.
I'm going to do like an A/B test. Like one night get 6, another night get 7, 6, 7, 6, 7.
I'll let you set up the parameters of it.
No, because if it doesn't work, I'm going to sue you for it. So I need to know the parameters now. That's what I need to know them now for.
All right. I don't know. I feel like a week would be good.
A week would be good.
Yeah.
So I know you're about to take a sip of bourbon, but I want you to think about a question.
Okay.
I asked you this at the beginning of the podcast, but I feel like you're going to have a different answer now. So Kyle, what's your story?
Again? You want
Yeah.
a story?
Yeah. You gave me about where you lived and everything.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know you.
Oh, that's good. That's funny. I like that. I don't know. I am a guy that just wants to live the life that he wants to live, and what that life to me looks like is time flexibility at work, and work from home if I want. Can kind of come and go as I please, make my own schedule, do what I want to do outside work. And I think that we weren't meant to just work and make money. I think have so many more things that we can do, hobbies, people, fooling around with friends, hanging out, just having fun, things like that. So, I just don't want, my story is I don't want, work or something like that to take over my life. I just want to live every day how I want to live. So if I can do that, I think I'd feel good about the way that I did live.
Dude, I'll choose that.
Cool.
You know why I chose that?
Why?
So we're going to take a sip first. That was a terrible time to say that.
That's okay.
No, we'll sip.
Okay.
Do you know why I chose that?
Why?
People have preconceived notions about certain professions. And I am similar to you when it comes to being a lawyer, which is one of the reasons why I'm glad I got fired from my job and I wouldn't have had the courage to do it. Like, I've become adept at my job. I enjoy it. It's challenging. I enjoy it. Do I want to do it forever? I don't know. Not likely, but that's just the nature of me. But like, it gives me the flexibility to enjoy life. And I think a lot of people see lawyers and they'll say, oh, only thing you do is just bill every hour of your day. Your family hates you. Your kids hate you. Congratulations, you have a big house. You're never going to be there.
I think that other attorneys think about other attorneys like that. And depending on where you're at, I personally think that people outside the profession don't know about it.
Have you seen
at all?
Suits seems pretty accurate.
Yeah, I have seen. Yeah. I was in a hearing this morning and the guy was like, man, I was hoping this would be like Suits.
Oh, he was disappointed.
Yeah.
Was it the stripper? Sorry, exotic dancer.
No, it was not.
All right.
Another matter, but I was just thought in my head, I'm like, nothing's like Suits.
Nothing.
It's literally made up.
It is very much made up.
But I don't know. I think a lot of people don't know about the profession, really. I don't think people outside of it know what it is. I think they think it's like doctor, lawyer, you make good money, whatever, but they just don't really have like the billable hours and that sort of thing. People don't have a concept, I don't think, of that unless you're in it.
You don't think outsiders think lawyers work all the time?
I don't know.
I don't either.
I don't know if they, I don't know if they know the concept of the billable hour, but they might think that lawyers do work long hours. That might be true.
So we're nerds because we both went to law school and passed the bar, and we're still lawyers and we enjoy it. So what, for those who might not be lawyers or law trained, what is a billable hour?
The billable hour is the amount of time that you spend that can be billed back to the client. So we bill by the 10th of the hour. So it's every 6 minutes.
Every 6 minutes.
Yes.
So what if I work on something for 30 minutes? Can I bill that time? Hold on, 6 minutes. What if I work on something for 24 minutes? Can I bill all 24 minutes?
If you're working on it for that amount of time, yes.
What if I go to the bathroom in between?
Oh, I guess that depends on who you work with on whether, but typically, I mean, I guess if it'd be like a long bathroom break or a short bathroom break.
I have a cell phone, so if I'm like on the toilet and I'm just going.
Well, right. The concept is like if you're, all right, say your mom calls you, 24 minutes, you talk with her for 12 minutes, and then you go back to the work, you lose that 12 minutes of billable time.
Oh.
So.
What my mom knows about the case.
I don't know.
Just kidding. So
I don't think you're going to be able to get that billed back.
That's fair. So bill time is different than real time.
Yeah. And you can't include like admin time. So that'd be like if I have clients and I have to send my invoices out to them every month, like I can't bill them for that. It's like, or doing a client intake call. That's not really billable because you're just doing intake and gathering like preliminary information to determine if you're going to take the case or not. That's not billable. So when you have these like billable hour requirements, but you have all this like administrative time that's not billable, you can end up working a lot of hours to hit those billable requirements.
Do you like the idea of billable hours?
I mean, it's been around for like 100 years.
Ooh. Now that's an answer. We've always done it this way.
Yeah, right. Right.
We've always done it this way, so it should never change.
I mean, there's like here's the thing though. It's, what would you do otherwise? The flat fee model? Well, what if I have, more time in that matter than, what I thought that I would, so I end up losing money on it. Like if I would have billed more by the hour, I lose money on the flat fee model. It was suggested to me actually not that long ago. Somebody suggested the monthly, like almost like a subscription model.
Like Netflix?
Almost, yeah.
But there's like different tiers of Netflix. Do I get the ad commercial or the commercial version or the non-commercial?
But I mean, at the end of the day, I said, well, how are we going to like quantify what that number would be. Is it going to be based on the hours that we bill them per year, just divided by 12 and just charge them monthly? Because that'd be the same almost thing. So I don't know. It's I don't think that another concept has, been thought of that's better as of now.
This is your fault. You brought up billable hours.
I know.
You know why I don't like billable hours?
Everybody hates us. Maybe they're learning. I don't know. Maybe they hate it. Maybe they're learning.
I mean, people learning. That's on them to learn or not learn.
Yeah.
You got to take extreme ownership, Jocko Willink style. No, but what I don't like about billable hours is that, like, so I work for an insurance company, and it's not my first insurance company that I work for, but it's like the client can always have the authority to kind of like write down the time that the lawyer spent on it, do write-offs. And that's so shitty.
Yeah.
Like, obviously it could be egregious. Like, if you spent 1.0 hours, which is a full 60 minutes, like drafting an email that's like 2 lines, it's like, okay, let's be reasonable. But like, people are putting in work. If it takes more time for someone to find the right answer, it's like, why would I want to discount that person's time?
Right.
And so it's just tough, you know what I mean?
And so who are you specifically talking about as the client? An insurance company?
No, when we have lawyers to help us out with things, like law firms.
Oh, so your company will request like a write down and say, you spent too much time on this.
Yeah, I mean, because they have to send in their billing sheets and everything. We have to approve invoices.
Yeah, I agree with you shouldn't scrutinize the attorney's hours.
No.
I try to get not too many of the clients that want to do that.
Yeah.
You like to get the clients that here's the bill. Oh my gosh, let me get squared up on this.
Yeah,
Real quick.
I'm that guy.
Are you?
I
Good.
process invoices pretty quickly.
Yep.
I send an invoice, I'm like, pay it. Like, if you think about like a business organization, right? Like, we'll spend millions of dollars like on a potential agreement that may or may not work. Like, it's just for like a project that someone has. And like, if we're doing that, we're going to pay our lawyers because they're the ones that are keeping us from getting in big trouble.
Right.
Through like penalties and fines and bad cases against us. Like, they're the ones protecting us.
Right.
So if we can spend $1 million doing that, we're not going to cut down someone's time that they spend doing that. The whole point is like trusting this person, right?
Right.
If they give me the right answer, I don't care if it took, 10 hours. Like, I understand that PIP in Michigan is tough.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks, trust me. And so if it takes 10 hours for it to get there, all right, it takes 10 hours. Thank you. Here's the next one. Let's work on this one together.
Right.
Yeah, we're aligned there.
Yep. 100%.
So Kyle, you've been great as far as like giving us your background and everything from the cornfields of Marion.
Yes.
There's a Marietta, Ohio too.
There is.
So
That's down on the river though, so you're not going to see as many cornfields there.
What do they have on the river? What kind of crops?
Well, I just don't know if they actually, you know what? Don't quote me on that. I know it's on the river. Maybe.
It's on the river.
Yeah.
All right, I thought you were going to say like a river crop. That'd be cool.
I don't know if there is or not.
Probably like Sweetwater corn.
Yeah. My brother went to college there.
In the cornfield or Marietta?
Marietta.
That makes more sense.
Yes.
So thank you for telling us about Marion County,
Yep.
The law school, your approach to employment law, the stripper client, which I still think is hilarious and awesome. I hope that that person got justice. Wait, were you on the stripper side or the strip club side?
I was defending the strip club. What's funny about that?
It's just funny because I thought you're like, you imagine these movies like A Time to Kill or whatever. It's like you're defending this exotic dancer in court, but no, you're the other side. Like, she was a independent contractor. It's
She
fine.
brought her own tools to work. That's one of the factors in determining if she's an independent contractor. Did you bring your own tools to work? Do you have your own know-how? Do you set your own hours? Can you? But I think the determining factor on that one was kind of like, well, is it like part and parcel of like the business strip club? Yeah, I think she was probably an employee. Like, whereas, if I'm a strip club and I'm doing a bathroom renovation and I call the guy to renovate the bathroom, is he an employee? Well, of course not. He's an independent contractor. He's doing something completely that's separately related from the business. But yes,
You said a lot of good stuff there, but my mind is stuck on one thing.
she brought her own tools.
What kind of tools does an exotic? What kind of tools does an exotic dancer bring to the strip club?
I guess, well, I don't know. I don't know. You let me know what you think. I think there's some tools that are brought. I mean,
I don't know. You know who said she brought her own tools? What kind of tools did she bring?
I don't know, the outfit.
Oh, like costumes.
Yeah.
When we say tools, it implies.
I don't know how involved I get. I'm not a big strip club guy. So
I'm not either, but you said tools. Like, what kind of tools? Like, did she have like a duffel bag? That's how I would imagine. Someone coming in with like a duffel bag of tools. Like, what's in that duffel bag?
I don't know. We might have to get to the bottom of that.
Yeah. For your next episode, we'll do some more research on what type of tools that exotic. Actually, I don't want to do that research. I feel like I should already know the answer.
Yeah.
It's like common sense, I think. It's fine.
Right.
Yeah. So you told us a story about the exotic dancer and making sure she didn't get paid overtime. We appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm making sure she didn't.
She did not get overtime. She brought her own tools. So Kyle, the second part of your homework was kind of talking about What personal development tool do you use to find your own best path forward in life?
Yes, yeah. So I would say I just have a general approach. I don't really have necessarily hard and fast rules, but I did think of some concepts.
I gotta get my pen and paper out.
No, that's
There
up
we
to
go.
you.
I have to get notes. Come on now.
Okay. Well, I would say number one is do what you enjoy and what's going to be sustainable for you. So, if you want to be on, a fitness journey and you're doing something that you hate every day, then it's not going to be fun. And that's what I kind of think about, like the boot camp stuff. It's like somebody at like a basic fitness level, is that sustainable for them to go to a boot camp, 3 to 4 times a week? Not for me. When I started doing the running thing, I didn't just jump up to 8 miles. I started with literally a half mile and then 3/4, 1, and then it got, tolerable. So do what you enjoy and then also do what's sustainable to you. I think that's, one of my building blocks as far as concepts.
Have you heard of a book called Atomic Habits by James Clear?
I've heard of it. I've not read it.
Do I have it up there? Oh, I'm such a loser. I got to put it up there. So James Clear wrote a book called Atomic Habits. And what you just mentioned for the boot camp, like what's enjoyable and sustainable. People might enjoy it just like endorphins. I'm working out. I'm having fun. I'm getting fit. But the endorphins can only take you so far when sustainability starts hitting you against the wall. You see this a lot with New Year's resolutions people. They're like, you know what? I don't go to the gym at all, but I'm going to start going 7 times a week. I'm like, oh, that's a choice.
Right.
And that's just not sustainable.
Right.
Like you have to start with maybe 3 days a week.
Right.
Maybe even 2 days a week because you have like your kids screaming at you. You got to take them to soccer practice. Probably not in January, but like hockey, I don't know. But like you have to do these obligations. So you have to find what's sustainable to you as well. So I love that first step. Do what you enjoy. And then what's sustainable to you.
Yeah.
That's a great first step. I like how you started this saying like, I don't know. And you just come out the fire first step. High expectations for number 2, Kyle.
Well, it kind of ties into what you said. I would say discipline over motivation. So you're going to be motivated after that New Year's resolution. Like, I'm getting in shape. It's the start of the new year. We're starting out fresh. And it's kind of like the endorphins thing, you get the couple in, but at the end of the day, it's just eventually going to stop. You're not going to be as motivated to do this day in and day out. So it's got to be a discipline thing. I will do this. I'm going to do this. And because you're not going to want to every day.
So, what is the difference between discipline and motivation?
Discipline's doing it when you don't want to do. When you're motivated, you have the want to do it for whatever reason, maybe based on the moment or based on a certain emotion at that point in time. Like I said, if it's New Year's Day, starting a new thing, oh my gosh, I feel good about this. I'm happy. I'm excited. And then you get in there and you do your Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 3-day-a-week workouts. And you're like, oh man, this is kind of tough.
Who would have thought?
Well, the motivation goes away. So then you got to fall back on just the discipline.
Kyle, you might be a genius because you just said something very cool there. Discipline takes emotion out of the equation. It is a task that must be completed. It is your job to do it.
Yep.
Motivation tends to rely more of emotions. Like, I feel supercharged to go do this. Discipline takes that out of the equation. Discipline is like, rain or shine, how much sleep did I get, not get? I'm going to go do this. You and I talked about it earlier too. It's like, if I only get 5 hours of sleep, discipline is going to tell me I still have to get up and go to the gym. And because I've kind of coded myself, like my spirit, my code of conduct, we talked about earlier with the bike brain thing, like my code of conduct is that I'm going to get up and get this done. And discipline is making sure that gets that done. Motivation is like, well, they only got 3 hours of sleep. I have kind of a runny nose. I'm going to sleep in. And so I think it's huge to have the distinction of discipline over motivation.
Yep.
So how do you say disciplined?
I don't know. I just, over time, I guess I've built it up. I don't think it's something that comes, maybe you're a naturally really disciplined person or a really regimented person, but I think that over time you can build that up if you want, and kind of the more, I guess, maybe momentum that you get, you might want to stick with it too. So that might help with the discipline, like, oh, I've made so much progress. And I've been into fitness so long too, and I've gone, years doing it and then taking months off, and it takes so much time to get it back. So I guess I've also lived through the downs of that, and it's like, oh my gosh, I got to start over anew again. So going back and thinking about how difficult it was to build it back up keeps me disciplined to kind of maintain and just to continue what I'm doing.
I dig that. I think, do you ever have a fat kid phase in your life?
Not as a kid, but like when I was doing the bulk phase, I think I took it like way overboard and stuff. I was at 220 at one point. Yeah.
How much you weigh now?
About like 183.
You're a solid 220 though.
Maybe.
You're obese like me at 270. 270, 220, tomato. No, like tomato.
But yeah, I look back at pictures at myself and I'm like, this was never worth it.
Yeah.
You know, I just didn't like it. It wasn't for me.
And I think it's what you said was huge. Is like you've been to the low points. And people that are starting out like a new journey, if they continue on a good path, right? They'll start getting some progress, building momentum and everything. And that start is probably the low point.
Mm-hmm.
And they have to keep that in mind.
Right.
And like be it with photos, like no matter what, every day I'll like take a photo of myself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if I've had Adriatico's pizza. So you know what Adriatico's pizza is?
Yeah, of course.
Adriatico's pizza. Like if I have that the night before, I'm like, you know what? You're going to have a gut the next day. It's going to deal with it. But at the same time, like I do that to hold myself accountable because I'm like, all right, you had pizza. Let's really focus in and hone in on the eating for the next week or so. And I think once you start getting some wins in your column, wins in your book, it starts really developing that motivation. It's kind of like the Kaizen approach, which is, I believe, a Japanese word for consistent incremental progress. It's like, it's going to take time to build that momentum. And the more you build it, the more you prove to yourself that you were able to do this thing that seemed impossible. Like, man, running a mile seems impossible. But like you start with a quarter mile, get to a half mile, 3/4 in the mile. It's like, all right, next thing you know, you're doing 8 miles. And I'm doing 4 miles. Same, but different, you know.
Yeah.
But you have to start somewhere. And then like having a memory of the low points of where you started, I think is huge.
Yes.
Do you have any reminders that kind of remind you of that low point? You kind of mentioned photos.
Yeah, I would say photos, generally like how I felt. Like I just feel good when I feel the best I maybe ever have right now. I'm in the best cardio shape that I've been in. I mean, there's people that are in way better shape than I am, but I just feel good. Like I don't, in my routine, I've got it. It makes me feel good. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. Back to, kind of tenet number one. And then another thing on the discipline that I was going to add is that it's easier to kind of maintain discipline when and you should at some point start seeing results. So once you start to see the results, okay, you see the fruit of the labor, I'm getting something out of this. So it makes it easier to continue to do that. I think it's, the reward system.
I think it's huge. And like having like actual objective evidence of it, because subjective evidence is fine. Like, oh, I look this way in the mirror, whatever. But like once you start seeing like either the numbers drop or your time increase or like your cadence increase or whatever like metric you're measuring start to improve, it really kind of supercharges your progress and development. Dude, I like how you said I didn't really plan for any of this. You just came out with 2 fire things. You're laughing because you did plan for it.
Oh, I told you I thought about it a little bit.
Thought about it. You have 2 great ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's number 3?
Number 3 is sometimes you got to mix it up.
Oh, that's interesting.
So if you're on, program, whatever it is you're doing, a lifting program or whatever, you do it for whatever the requisite time is, 8 weeks, 12 weeks. All right, you've completed that. Or, or if you're just doing it like a bodybuilding split for like, there is no predetermined amount of time, if you're starting to like plateau or you're just losing the interest in doing it, then it might be just time for you to just mix it up and do something else and reassess your goal or find something else that you want to do that's going to keep your mind focused on the goal at hand.
I think mixing it up is very important. I think people will get stuck in a certain routine. They'll have one plan that they've probably got like when they were competing in high school sports. And like, this is what Coach Barber told us to do back in the day. And they did this nonstop. Mm-hmm. And the thing is like plateaus are real. Mm-hmm. Like it's sometimes if you want to run faster, sometimes you have to run slower and then like run it during the interval training. Yep. My friend Dominic Nappy taught me that. He's like, Dan, he doesn't talk like this, but for the purpose of the story, this is how he talks. He goes, Dan, sometimes you have to slow down to go fast. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? But it's true.
Yeah.
His program tells him you're going to run at this slower pace for this day. Next day, you're going to run at a faster pace. Third day, you might be in the middle somewhere. But like that slow pace matters because it teaches you to control. And you mix it up, and it changes every like 4 to 6 weeks for them. So how do you go about mixing it up when you need it? Like, how do you know when to mix it up?
I don't know. I think it's a little bit of a self-assessment, self-reflection. I mean, I told you I started doing cardio. I don't know, for whatever reason, I just was like, I'm tired of just doing a bodybuilding split and I want to be fit in a different way. So I want to do this cardio. And then I know like on the bodybuilding splits, they do kind of different set and rep ranges too. I went back to just 3 sets by 10.
3 by 10 is a good one.
It is. And I'm like, when's the last time that's like the most basic thing that you do in high school, 3 by 10. But I was reading a tweet one day and it was like, I don't know if I was doing it right. It's like first set, like 50%, and then second set should be like 75%. And then that third set, you got to always make sure you're like, like 95% capacity and really challenging yourself too. So I thought, let me get back to a really basic 3x10 split and do it at those kind of pacings.
And I think technology has helped us out a lot. Going back to my friend Dom, I call him a hybrid machine because like he's running a marathon soon. On top of that, he's like, after that, I'm going to start benching again. He like benches over 300 pounds. I'm like, Dom, get out of here. But like he has technology that tells him like what his 70% is supposed to be based on his 1 rep max. So I think technology has made that a lot easier to kind of like help really track it. And I think if you start getting to a plateau point, mixing it up is huge.
Yep.
So I love that.
Yep.
So you've mentioned so far, do what you enjoy and what's sustainable to you. Discipline over motivation. And then sometimes you got to mix it up. What else you got?
The last one I got is, follow or be friends with, like-minded people. So when it's easier to kind of stay in what you're doing if, you're hanging out with people that work out or even following people on like social media that are doing the same thing as you, just picking up like pointers and stuff. Like I follow like a fitness guy that said, 50, 75%, 95% on your 3x10s. I was like, like just being around things that are relevant to you, will keep you accountable and keep you motivated, keep you goal oriented and disciplined. So I think that's another one that's big.
I think, and so, you keep bringing it back to the bike brain. You did this. So the category of that was spirit. And spirit's about like diving into yourself, figuring out your own code of conduct, and then reaching out to others, understanding that we can't do this thing called life alone. And part of that is realizing that you need a community of people around you. And so building a community through like the fitness industry is huge. Like I do it through my gym. We see each other in the gym. You've seen how I interact at the gym. Yep. Like sometimes working out is a secondary objective, but that's because I put a high emphasis on community. And people that get up before the sun rises and everything, we're built a little bit differently because we built ourselves to be differently. It's not there's something inherent about us. It's like, we like to get up before dawn to go work out. It's like over time, that alarm just gets a little bit earlier till we get to a certain point. It's like, all right, this is about right. I can get up. This is my peak performance time. And when you find people that are like that, it's like you guys just kind of think alike. And so like be it online, be it in real life, I think having a community of people around you that are kind of like-minded is huge. And you found yours in social media. A lot of people will trash social media. And mind you, sometimes there can be a lot of trash on social media. People are like, the algorithm's broken. I'm like, the algorithm is giving you exactly what you asked for based on your search history. And so my algorithm is like anime and then like fitness tips. You can probably see like anime. A little upset. Do you know what anime is?
I do. I used to watch some Dragon Ball Z. I was never super into it, but I do know what it is. I did watch. So I just don't want to bill myself as an expert or, a super fan or anything like that. But I have watched Dragon Ball Z. And
I saw my enthusiasm building. You were like, let me just shoot it down.
I know. I didn't. Well, I just did.
I got super excited.
I wanted to temper the expectations.
So like building community, you're not a Dragon Ball Z fan, but not like a super fan.
Yeah, I mean, that was so many years ago, too, when I watched it.
Oh, more distance. He was like, don't ask me any questions about Dragon Ball Z. Kyle heard. It's fine. Whatever. We don't have to talk about Dragon Ball Z.
Right.
I saw you looking at him. Which one caught your eye, out of curiosity?
That's not Goku. Which one is that?
This one?
Yeah.
It's called Gogeta. It's a fusion of Goku and Vegeta working together.
Got it.
So they do a fusion dance.
So that one caught my eye, and then obviously that one's Vegeta.
Yeah. Do you know who that is?
Out of Ghost Goku?
It is Ghost Goku. Oh my God, what was that?
I just guessed.
No, but like a community of like-minded people matters. And so like I think in anime, even these people, like when they formed that fusion, it was because there was an enemy they couldn't beat by themselves. God. And so when you kind of work with someone else that has a similar goal in mind, either being like through a physical fusion, we can't do that dance and become that person, but like we can still mentally jive, right? So if you kind of like what I call enter that mental room with someone else and like invite them in like, hey, this is what I'm working on. For you, it's like, I kind of want to figure out what's the proper percentage of weight I should be doing for this 3x10. Instagram person. You've allowed them to enter that mental room as you're figuring out that problem. The same thing with anime. Like Goku and Vegeta, like we have this enemy we have to defeat. We're going to do this little dance, fuse together, and we're going to be a lot stronger than we could by ourselves. And that goes back to spirit. Like you're a lot stronger if you have people along that journey with you. You could do it alone all day long, but you're not going to get very far. You're going to burn out. You're going to tire out. You're going to get frustrated because you don't have a lot of resources. And no matter how much discipline you have, if you try to do it by yourself, eventually you're going to fail.
Right.
And even if you have other people, you're going to fail too. And failure is not the end goal here. But if you have other people when you fail, they can help you find the best path forward. And I think that's what's huge here. All that came from Gogeta, is that person's name, by the way. Because it's Goku and Vegeta, Gogeta. You're a lawyer. You get that right.
I follow it.
You're not impressed. You should be impressed. That guy's very strong.
I liked it. I follow it. Oh shit.
It's all good. You should take a sip of water. My God.
I'll take a sip of the bourbon.
That's right. I went for the same.
Cheers, man.
Dude, you came with four really good tips.
Well, thanks.
And so before I ask you for the official name of this tool that you developed, I'm going to ask you, if someone is looking to develop these four tips that you gave, and I'm going to recap them real quick.
Yep.
The first one is do what you enjoy and what's sustainable to you. The second one is discipline over motivation.
Yep.
The third one is mix it up as needed, as you called it. Sometimes you just got to mix it up. And the fourth is kind of find a community of people, like-minded people around you.
Yes.
So if someone is looking to kind of develop those steps, what advice would you give them?
If somebody was trying to what?
Trying to kind of implement this tool, what would you tell them?
Just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Don't overthink it.
Right. Yeah.
But what if they don't know how to do it?
Well, then you might have to do a little bit of research or something. Like if you're looking for a program, or if you have some friends, just have them introduce you to it. You got to start somewhere. It doesn't really matter, I don't think, where you start, because you can always change the process as you go along. But I think the important part is just doing it and starting it somewhere.
You have to just start.
Yep.
And I find this a lot with people in the gym. And this is part of the reason why I want to be like super open with people in the gym. It's like they think the gym is this place like that people are going to be mocking them. I find it to be the exact opposite. And it's the community that I want to build. Like if you are new to the gym, we will have your back. Whenever I see someone benching and they're struggling at the second rep, I keep an eye on them.
Yep.
I'm like, I want to make sure you're okay, because I want it to be an enjoyable experience. And so we all kind of have our parts to do to make sure that people are taken care of.
And I would say too, don't be afraid to ask for a spot. Ever. I mean, people love to help each other in the gym. Anytime a guy asks me for a spot, I'm like, oh, absolutely, man. How many are you going for? Yep. You want me to, how involved you want me to be? Usually just like a finger up and just barely help them out. That's my normal go-to, but happy to do it. I don't think anybody that I've ever asked has been like, I've never been told no, I won't spot you.
Could you imagine?
No, I wouldn't. I'd be
If
like,
that happens at the gym, let me know. They'll be gone. They'll be fucking gone.
Right.
It's funny you're talking about the finger up spot. Like there's different spotting techniques.
Right.
I remember my buddy Dom, the hybrid athlete I mentioned earlier, the first interaction I had, he asked me to spot him. Before I even knew his name, I was like, sure, I got your back. I didn't know he was going for a PR. And he was like kind of struggling and muscling it up. Hindsight being like, he probably would have gotten it. But I was like, he doesn't got it. So I snatched the PR glory.
You snatched it. Dude, the fingers, man.
I didn't know any better.
Yeah, just have the hands ready.
I did not. I was like, he's stuck.
I'm big on the spot. So like, if you can't, if the weight's going to be too much for you to like, because think about it, like if you're in a position like this and the dude completely fails, you're not probably be able to curl that up off of him. So
he's going to die.
Kind of position those hands like that or something. But
I didn't give him a chance. Sit up. He told me afterwards.
I'm glad you guys made it to friends after that.
He said thanks. He did not mean it at all.
He didn't.
He told me that later. I was like, oh, you probably hated me. He's like, I had no emotions toward you. Which is even worse. That's psychopath language.
Right.
Or sociopath. I don't know the difference. Do they teach that in employment law? Psychopath.
I learn that distinction.
Oh, maybe at your next CLE, you'll teach it to you.
Maybe they will bring that up.
All right. So you've had enough time. Yep. These 4 steps are fucking fantastic.
Yep.
What are you going to call this tool?
Fit for life. It's lifestyle. I mean, if you want to truly be fit and make it a lifestyle, I think these are the 4 things you should do. That's what I do. And I want to be fit for life.
I'm having conflict right now. You know why?
Why?
Because there's 4 things here. So is it fit faux life?
No,
I don't know.
Wow, that could be.
Which one is it?
I don't know. I like that though.
Fit for life.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that, but wow.
I got super
It
excited.
just came together.
It just came together.
Crazy.
Kyle, you've been fucking fantastic. I appreciate it. You're coming back, right?
I'd love to.
The question is it going to be like a milestone episode? Because 30 is a milestone.
Right.
I don't know what the next milestone is, but my plan is to keep this thing going.
Yeah.
So you're coming back.
I like it. You're up to 1,100 subscribers.
Am I that? For real?
I looked today. I subscribed.
You looked today? Wait, you just subscribed today?
I'm sorry.
Just today?
I'm sorry.
Were you number 1,100?
No, I was higher than
You
that.
should say yes just for the purpose of the story.
I think maybe I was. I'll have to go back.
Oh, 1100, number 1100. We're going to fact check this. If he's wrong, I'm going to sue the shit out of him. Number 1100, here we go.
There we go.
1100.
Yep.
Dude, this whole podcasting has been wild. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun.
I'm ready to watch some more.
I'm ready to keep like talking to interesting people.
Yep.
If one person has gotten any value out of this thing, I'm cool with it. If one out of the 1100 gets value out of it, that's all I care about. You've given 4 great tools to help people that really want to like kind of take control of what they want to do in life, and it makes me very happy. So I appreciate you taking the time to do that.
100%. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. This isn't the closing. The closing is, do you have anything you want to say to the people?
I don't. Just keep watching the podcast. I think he's got some good stuff coming up, and I like what he's doing. Keep watching.
All right. Well, cheers, brother.
Cheers,
I
man.
appreciate being here.
Appreciate you having me.
We'll see you guys next time. Have a good one. Thank you for watching and listening to today's episode. Chances are you're looking to embark on your own personal development journey. I'm not going to lie to you. True personal development is hard, and it's supposed to be hard. That's because you're not only changing who you are, but how you operate. The aim of this podcast is to give you a community of people that are striving to do the same. So like and subscribe to the channel, but more importantly, comment below on how you plan on using today's tool to find your own best path forward. We'll see you next time.